Craig, the West Michigan coffee baron. It's a busy week for things like, drafts with the NHL on Wednesday.
NHL's on Friday.
Yeah, I knew that. I was making sure you knew that.
Oh, yeah.
NBA's on Thursday. Is that the expansion draft?
Yes, that's when they announced who the Las Vegas Golden Knights are taking.
There was
They officially released their list.
There was an article on Deadspin. People who are questioning the Jurassic being unprotected thing. That it was a lot of what we talked about yesterday. It being more upside, and with his age, 25 years old, and one bad year should not put him in the doghouse.
Well, did you notice how they decided to all bring out the, I don't know what you want to call it, the propaganda about how Jurassic is he has an attitude problem.
I did see that.
I love how the wings spin that. That was the wings slipping stuff. It's like politics. They slip some on media.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they did.
Because all of a sudden, every single beat writer is writing about how he has an attitude problem. Before, I never heard about him having an attitude problem. It's just funny how I don't protect him.
The only thing I had heard about his personality was that he's extremely confident. That was all I had ever heard. I had never heard anything negative about Peter Mrazek.
Isn't that what you want from a goalie? A confident goalie?
I would think. And even if he does have an attitude problem, so what?
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
I just hate how all of a sudden now he has an attitude problem when he never had an attitude problem before. That's all propaganda.
So, she'll see. The NBA draft is this week too, isn't it?
Correct, yes.
There was a trade made?
Yeah,
is that important? Is that...
Somewhat, yeah. I mean, the Celtics had the #1 overall pick, and they traded it to Philadelphia for their #3 overall pick and another first-round pick, so that's a pretty big move.
So that means the Celtics get 2 first-round picks now.
For that one, yeah. So they're just stockpiling those picks.
76ers wanted to get the #1 pick. I don't know how the #1 pick is going to be.
Markel Fultz. He's not a
number 2. He's got to be the ball kid, right?
Maybe. Yeah, the Lakers are probably going to take him, but they're kind of saying, like, oh, we might not take him. I don't know if I believe him. We'll see on Thursday, I guess.
Tigers did not play?
They barely played. They lost 6-2 to the Mariners yesterday in Seattle.
Okay.
That's a good start to that road trip.
Whitecaps are on the All-Star break.
Yeah, Jake Robson's starting in the All-Star game. The Whitecap.
I don't think you're going to see him the second half of the year.
I have a feeling you won't either.
They're going to move him up to a higher level of A-ball or something.
He's been just
on a tear.
eating the leather off the ball, so I think he'll probably move up to AA. But yeah, he's a starter tonight, so good luck to him.
Yeah, excellent. To get into this little segment here, we have to appropriately fire the music that I know Ben will just love. No. system, meaning she had done it in the previous 72 hours, along with opiates and booze.
And ecstasy, right?
And heroin. And morphine. And codeine. And oxy.
She was like her own pharmacy.
All of these things. Heroin.
Yeah, and she wasn't just kind of like dipping her toes. She was all in. When you're doing heroin, cocaine, ecstasy, all sorts of stuff, you're all in. You don't just try it.
I've often marveled at how much her voice changed from when she was Princess Leia to 60-year-old Carrie Fisher.
I didn't know.
Different person.
I didn't know cocaine gives you an Adam's apple.
Well, you know, it's funny because she was on Oxy too, and that actually affects your hearing and your voice. Rush Limbaugh had a battle with Oxy.
Really?
And for a time, he was doing his radio show. He could not hear, and his voice was different.
Yeah, really? How long ago was this?
Within the last 12 years.
Wow.
Probably closer to like 7 or 8.
I didn't know.
And it was bad. In fact, he couldn't hear anything. And he's doing a radio show. People were... You couldn't understand what he's saying half the damn time.
Did he start talking like Mickey Mouse?
It was weird. It was really distorted and strange. And then people actually had to type what the callers were saying in order for them to keep the cash cow moving.
Could you imagine if Ben had to type every single time Jeremy calls in or something? Like a long story or Dean's long story.
It's written here that seems like an insane drug cocktail, but it isn't like she downed all these drugs just before her flight. I don't care.
Yeah, it was at least in the last 72 hours that she had cocaine.
Yeah, the cocaine.
But I'm pretty sure heroin doesn't stay in your system for that long either.
I don't know.
I'm not sure what. I know, like marijuana stays in your system the longest, I believe. I think that's 30 days and everything else is...
You seem to know a thing or two.
Yeah, I mean, do research.
It says she only had remote exposure to ecstasy.
Remote exposure?
Yeah, I mean, what?
Was she at an EDM concert and she got secondhand ecstasy?
Right, yeah. They also could not determine when she took the heroin, although it doesn't, like you said, remain in the system as long as cocaine, so apparently it was also within 3 days before the flight.
Yeah. Also 72 hours, so it seems like 72 hours before she went on a crazy drug binger.
Her brother Todd said he was not surprised. He said, if you want to know what killed Carrie, it's all of that. Meanwhile, Tiger Woods has announced he's getting help for prescription drug use.
Kind of has to.
Yeah.
It's part of his, settlement, right?
I have no idea.
That's my understanding. It's part of the settlement that he can't bring shame on the family or something to be able to keep seeing his kids.
You know, I think even if he didn't have to, he should. And hopefully he's getting that help. He said, quote, I'm currently receiving professional help to manage my medications and the ways that I deal with back pain and sleep disorder. I want to thank everyone for the amazing outpouring of support. Tiger was arrested for DUI last month. His arraignment has been pushed back to August 9th in Palm Beach County, Florida. It's possible he could get the DUI charge downgraded to reckless driving. He could get off with probation, a fine, and a DUI course. I think that's probably appropriate.
But he was so out of it, though. I've seen those videos where somebody who was really drunk is more responsive than Tiger Woods was. Like, just because he wasn't drinking doesn't mean he didn't put people in danger. He was completely out of his mind.
And it took forever for him to, I mean, even hours later at the police station, he could not even
sit up.
He couldn't even sit. He was just in a stupor.
Yeah, there's no way you can say, oh, no, that wasn't as bad. He almost started singing the national anthem when they asked him to do the ABCs.
Oh, that was crazy. Yeah. That was a crazy, crazy bit there. We got some heat because we played that and we reacted anyway, but oh boy, I hope he gets help. Because when we played that, we went, oh my God. You know, we were shocked and we may have laughed.
As did the rest of the world.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Literally, I listened to a bunch of other radio